Hello everyone, it's Dawn from Stamp Till Dawn, and I finally got a chance to play with the new Cricut Infusible Ink sheets right before I went to convention. I was making some convention gifts and I couldn't share what I did till I got home because I wanted to keep the surprise. So I thought I'd pop on here and show you some of my fails. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. I share that because so many times when I teach classes, people get frustrated and they think they're not good at it. And I want you to know it takes practice sometimes learning a new thing, and I make mistakes too. So just because sometimes I think I have it together in front of you doesn't mean that's what it's like in real life. So this was my very first attempt, and look, it is perfect. I followed all my rules. I cut my design out. I did a test cut. So I had this designed. I did a test cut, came out perfectly. I weeded the design, heat pressed it, boom, awesome. So I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm golden. And I put, let's do 11 more. And I threw it away in a fit of upsetness. It didn't cut. It didn't cut all the way through for me. And so I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I changed my blade and then it cut too thick. So what did turn out that my blade was a little dull, and this material is kind of, it's thicker. And so I think just like when I cut vinyl, when my blade is starting to get dull, I'll notice it on vinyl. I think the infusible ink is now going to be another place where I see real quickly that it's time to change blades, which is very rare. I hardly ever change blades. So anyway, so that was the first thing. Now I want to show you, can you see there's letters missing? Look at this. They pop out. So in this particular design, I wanted to remove the outside but keep the letters. But this product, the infusible ink, it's much different than vinyl. It just literally pops off of here. See how it's coming out? And so that was a bit of a frustration for me because I literally had letters everywhere. See them? Look, these are some rejects. They're just missing their letters. They're just everywhere. It's not necessarily a bad thing about the product itself. It's just it's just how it is. So you want to keep that in mind when you are thinking about the designs that you're going to do. So this design is what I did. I did a square and had it so I removed the letters. This was much easier because I really did want to remove the letters and I kept the solid background. So it was a much better first project, except look, I forgot to remove the circle for the J. So I don't know what that really says, but it's supposed to say enjoy. There's supposed to be a little circle right there for the top of it. But this was a much better choice for a first project. So, but I needed to make socks for my team, and so I switched. Oh, the other thing was the logo. Okay, so this logo, I don't even know if you can see how teeny tiny the 2 and the my are. I had to get little teeny tiny pieces out of that. Oh, which with vinyl is fine, but with this, as you saw, they pop off. So I was committed to doing a certain number with this logo. I did them. Those of you who got those know that I must truly love you because those were the hard ones to do. I switched to another one that said I love CTMH. Super easy, and I sadly don't have a sample of that in front of me, but that was much easier to do. So I would do this again. However, I would never do it this small. I think that if I did my letters bigger, all of these things about the letters moving, them being too small to weed, would be much easier. So those are my first initial tips and fails with infusible ink, but ultimately I loved it. I made, I think, about 15 pairs of socks, and I believe I made 8 of the coasters, and the coasters were so fast and easy. And I have a few other things in my little back pocket that I'm going to be working on, but for now I wanted to show you my initial experiments with the infusible ink. See you soon.